Is time travel possible? Science says time travel is possible, but probably not in the way you're thinking. Is time travel possible? Yes, and you're doing it right now, hurtling into the future at the impressive rate of 1 second per second. You're pretty much always moving through time at the same speed, whether you're watching paint dry or wishing you had more hours to visit with a friend from out of town. How do we know that time travel is possible? More than 100 years ago, a famous scientist named Albert Einstein came up with an idea about how time works. He called it relativity. This theory says that time and space are linked together. Einstein also said our universe has a speed limit. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. There have been various accounts of persons who allegedly traveled through time reported by the press or circulated on the internet. These reports have turned out either to be hoaxes or to be based on incorrect assumptions, incomplete information, or interpretation of fiction as fact, many being now recognized as urban legends. They are alleged time travelers, Charlotte and Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain. The Moberly-Jourdain incident, or the ghosts, refers to claims of time travel and hauntings made by Charlotte and Moberly 1846 to 1937 and Eleanor Jourdain 1863 to 1924. In 1911, Moberly and Jourdain published a book entitled An Adventure, under the names of Elizabeth Morrison and Francis Lamont. Their book describes a visit they made to the Petit Trianon, a small chateau in the grounds of the Palace of Versailles, where they claimed they saw ghosts, including Marie Antoinette and others. Their story caused a sensation and was subject to much ridicule. Chaplins' Time Traveller. In October 2010, Northern Irish filmmaker George Clark uploaded a video clip entitled Chaplin's Time Traveller to YouTube. The clip analyzes bonus material in a DVD of the Charlie Chaplin film The Circus. Included in the DVD is footage from the film's Los Angeles premiere at Grauman's Chinese Theatre in 1928. At one point, a woman is seen walking by, holding up an object to her ear. Clark said that, on closer examination, she was talking into a thin, black device that had appeared to be a phone. Clark concluded that the woman was possibly a time traveler. The clip received millions of hits and was the subject of televised news stories. Time-traveling hipster. A photograph from 1941 of genuine authenticity of the Ray opening of the South Fork Bridge in Goldbridge, British Columbia, was alleged to show a time traveler. It was claimed that his clothing and sunglasses were of the present day, and not of the styles worn in the 40s. The style of sunglasses first appeared in the 1920s. On first glance, the man is taken by many to be wearing a printed T-shirt, but on closer inspection it seems to be a sweater with a sewn-on emblem. The shirt is very similar to the one that was used by the Montreal Maroons, an ice hockey team from that era. The remainder of his clothing would appear to have been available at the time, though his clothes are far more casual than those worn by the other individuals in the photograph. The time-traveling hipster became a case study in viral internet phenomena in museums, which was presented at the Museums and the Web 2011 conference in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Mobile device in 1943. A photograph from 1943 of genuine authenticity, showing a scene of holidaymakers on Tarrant Beach in Newquay, Cornwall, was uploaded to Twitter in November 2018 by multimedia artist Stuart Humphries, which was alleged by some viewers to show a time traveler operating an anachronistic mobile device, such as a phone. This tweet was picked up by news outlets including Fox News in the US. The original uploader was quoted in these stories as dismissing the time travel theories, stating that the man in question was probably just rolling a cigarette. Mike Markham. In 1995, a man named as Mike Madman Markham reportedly claimed to have built a time machine in his home. In 1996, he reportedly disappeared after a few days of limelight and was never heard of again. His tale is also mentioned in Audible and SoundCloud. And these are alleged time travel technology that had been experiment to prove. The time travel theory. In April 2013, the Iranian news agency Fars carried a story claiming a 27-year-old Iranian scientist had invented a time machine that allowed people to see into the future. A few days later, the story was removed and replaced with a story quoting an Iranian government official that no such device had been registered. Philadelphia Experiment and Montauk Project. The Philadelphia Experiment is the name given to a naval military experiment, which was supposedly carried out at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, sometime around October 28, 1943. It is alleged that the U.S. Navy destroyer, escort USS Eldridge, was to be rendered invisible or cloaked to enemy devices. The experiment is also referred to as Project Rainbow. Some reports allege that the warship traveled back in time for about 10 seconds. However, popular culture has represented far bigger time jumps. The story is widely regarded as a hoax. The U.S. Navy maintains that no such experiment occurred, and details of the story contradict well-established facts about the Eldridge as well as the known laws of physics. While Einstein's theories appear to make time travel difficult, some researchers have proposed other solutions that could allow jumps back and forth in time. These alternate theories share one major flaw. As far as scientists can tell, there's no way a person could survive the kind of gravitational. Countless science fiction tales have explored the paradox of what would happen if you went back in time and did something in the past that endangered the future. Perhaps one of the most famous pop culture examples is in Back to the Future, when Marty McFly goes back in time and accidentally stops his parents from meeting, putting his own existence in jeopardy. Time travel is commonly defined with David Lewis' definition: an object time travels if and only if the difference between its departure and arrival times, as measured in the surrounding world, does not equal the duration of the journey undergone by the object. Before the 20th century, scientists and philosophers rarely investigated time travel, but now it is an exciting and deeply studied topic. There are investigations into travel to the future and travel to the past, although travel to the past is more problematical and receives more attention. There are also investigations of the logical possibility of time travel, the physical possibility of time travel, and the technological practicality of time travel. The most attention is paid to time travel that is consistent with current physical theory such as Einstein's general theory. Time travel stories have been a staple of the science fiction genre for the past century. Good science fiction stories often pay homage to the fundamentals of scientific knowledge of the time. There is an extensive literature on time travel in both philosophy and physics. Part of the great interest of the topic stems from the fact that reasons have been given both for thinking that time travel is physically possible. One objection to the possibility of time travel flows directly from attempts to define it in anything like Lewis's way. The worry is that because time travel involves a discrepancy between time and time travel scenarios are simply incoherent. The time traveler traverses 30 years in 1 year. She's 51 years old 21 years after her birth. She dies at the age of 90,200 years before her birth, and so on. The objection is that these are straightforward contradictions. The basic description of what time travel involves is inconsistent. Therefore, time travel is logically impossible. The idea is that backwards time travel is impossible because if it occurred, time travelers would attempt to do things such as kill their younger selves. We know that doing these things, indeed, changing the past in any way, is impossible. But were there time travel, there would then be nothing left to stop these things happening. In order to defend the possibility of time travel in the face of this argument, we need to show that time travel is not a sure route to doing the impossible. Could a time traveler change the past? It seems not. The events of a past moment could no more change than numbers could. Yet it seems that he would be as able as anyone to do things that would change the past, if he did them. If a time traveler visiting the past both could and couldn't do something,